All right. So, as you can tell by the title of this video, if you're a fan of this channel, this video is a little bit different, but it's one I've been meaning to make for a while. So the purposes of this video is there's three things. If you're a fan of this channel and you've had this question, multiple people have asked me, well, you're making money now, how much money are you making? And then the other thing is that in doing all of the research that I've done, which is hundreds of hours of research on YouTube in terms of how to build a YouTube channel, etc. I didn't find a whole lot in terms of sports YouTube channels, right? There's a lot of information in general, but I kind of wanted to give people an idea, especially if you're a small size sports channel, what you would make. Now, so purposes of this video is going to help you out a couple of things. If you're trying to start a YouTube channel and you want to know kind of what to expect when it comes to monetization and a few of the things around that, this video is for you. If you just got monetized or fixing to just get monetized and you want to know some of the ins and outs of what's coming next, this video is for you. So let's just get started with it. This channel I started in 2016, a couple days before Halloween 2016. And I'm going to get into some of the reasons why I don't have as many subscribers and the channel may not be as big as it would have, could have, should have been. I'll get into some of those things first, but I don't want to bury the lead, so we'll get right to it. I started it in 2016, and it took me until, I believe the date is May 25th of 2021 to meet the new requirements to be monetized. I had actually been monetized before under the old requirements. And then when they made the requirements higher, when they lifted the threshold, I got booted from the program. So it took me a long time to get monetized, to get the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 hours worth of watch time. And I'm going to, in the back end of the video, I'm going to explain what kind of took me so long. Now, in terms of how much money you make, the reason why I wanted to do something from a sports point of view is because it's not a set system. How much money you make with ad revenue, I cannot speak. It's not a set thing. So what do I mean by that? Well, number one, it depends on what market, what niche you're in, okay? Sports doesn't make as much money in ad revenue as somebody who's making videos trying to sell financial products or banking advice, etc., something like that, because the clientele who's watching investment marketing is going to have more money than your average hockey fan, okay? So, and then inside of that niche, it still varies quite a bunch, which I'm going to show you. So I'm going to share the screen. I cannot talk today. For those of you who are used to this channel or new to the channel, usually I'm a lot more eloquent with my speaking, but for whatever reason, I guess because I'm not talking about sports, I'm stumbling over my words. So let's share the screen. All right. Now, the page you're looking at is in my YouTube studio, and you are looking at my lifetime. This is over the entire lifetime of the channel. Okay, so what you're going to notice, I'm going to show you a couple of things here right off the bat. Yes, the lifetime revenue is $2,521.54. That includes everything. It includes super chats, and it includes a few people have given me super thanks, etc. That's everything. Now, I want you to notice a couple of things on these graphs down here. Okay, you'll notice right around in here, you see how it starts to bump up. And this is my views, okay? Right around here, it starts to bump up. Watch time, same thing. Starts to bump up. Subscribers, you'll see I got a couple of big spots there, but for the most part, starts to bump up right about here. And then revenue obviously didn't start until I got monetized right around here. What's that first date? July 21st of 2021 is actually the day that I got approved. I met the threshold towards the end of May, and that's when I got approved. Now, why did I show you those bumps? I wanted to show you those bumps where you can clearly see that things start to move forward significantly. That's live streaming. Up until the moment of those bumps, I had never done live streams. I'd been making video after video after video after video after video. I just celebrated my 1000th video. So I didn't grow because of lack of content, or I didn't not grow. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have slow growth because of lack of content. These bumps, all these bumps, that's live streaming. So let's go to the revenue. So over the course of, I guess it's been a year and a month basically, that I've been monetized. That's what I had made, $2,521, which if you combine that with my eBay income and I made that every month, I'd be pretty well set. But that's not every month. The goal is to get to every month. Now, how did we get to this figure? And here's the thing that I want people to understand is that if you went to your job today and you were working, and maybe one day you made $12 an hour, and tomorrow you're going to make 17, but on Friday you're only going to get 9, you would wonder what the hell is going on. So let me show you. I'm going to go to the content page now. Now, I'm going to go with 3 videos here. Now, this video, this is the how to give a St. Bernard a bath in 4 minutes. That is the outlier to the channel, almost 66,000 views. But most of those views came when it was not monetized. So the most successful video I've had is the recent one where I talked about how I predicted the Huberto and Tkachuk trade. That's got almost 13,000 views. If I come here to the analytics, you will see that that video has made me just about $45. So not quite $4 per thousand, but close, right? Pretty close to $4 per thousand. All right, so let's bump back to the next page. Now I want to go down to a video that was it the Lundell one? Which one did I want to do? No, let's go with this one. This one here, the Florida Panthers fan panel, which has almost exactly 4,000 views, right? So at almost $4 a thousand, you would think that's going to have made me about $16, right? Survey says not even 12, barely over 11. So less than $3 per thousand views that video has made me. So, okay, is it almost 4 or is it under 3? How much money are we making here, Jaws, right? Now, I want to show you one more video. I want to come down to the next page because I had this one pretty pre-selected, I believe. Come down to the bottom of the next page, and yeah, this one, this last one, this is the playoff video. This is actually the one where I had to go topless because I predicted something. I said, if this happens, I'll go topless, and I did. So that's just about 1,200 views. So how much money did that one make me? Between 3 and 4, right? No, almost $6. Oh, well, that's more than $5 a thousand. So I just showed you 3 videos that between the 3 videos, one made over $5 a thousand, one made just under 4, and one made just under $3 per thousand views. So I can stop sharing the screen now because I think I've made the point of how much I'm making and how it goes. So couple of things that this means, especially if you're in the sports YouTube arena. Listen to this carefully because it took me a while to really grasp this concept, and I haven't really heard it too much out there. Maybe other people have had this idea, but what I've come to realize, like if you watch somebody who is a bigger YouTuber, okay, if you watch somebody who's covering news, and they've got, 200,000, 300,000 views on their video. Their content, however, like if you made a video about the depth trial, okay, their content is long, has a longer tail to it. So what I mean by that is making sports videos. I'm making a video about a hockey game that's Tuesday night. By the time the recap is up, it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm going to get a burst of views that first hour for people who are waiting for the video. Then it's Russian roulette. It genuinely depends on those first 100, 150 people. How much of that video are they watching? Because I have a pretty set fan base, so to speak, to use that term, where the first 100, 200 people are people that have been looking for my videos. How much of that video are they watching? If it's a good one and they like it and they're watching longer periods of time, the algorithm's going to pick that up. And I'm going to wake up to 1,000 views. I'm going to wake up to somewhere between 500 to 1,000 views. But what will happen the following morning is you're going to get another burst of people waking up. They didn't catch the video. They don't know what happened in the game. They wake up. They caught the video. They know what happened in the game now. About noon Wednesday for a Tuesday night game, about noon on Wednesday, the bottom is going to drop out because everybody already knows what happened in the Panther game last night. So unless it's a random subscriber or fan of the channel who missed the video, for the most part, the bulk of the views have already come and gone. And the algorithm notices that and says, okay, stop showing this video to anybody. So that was one of the reasons why it took me and my channel, just one of the reasons why it took me so long to grow to the size to be monetized. And I'm sharing that because some of you are starting channels now or thinking about it. It took me 6 years pretty much to get monetized. That's a little long. And I'm giving you some of the reasons. Some of the reasons are YouTube, some of the reasons were me. So one of the reasons is that you're making content, if you're just covering the games, you're making content that within 24 hours, it's kind of obsolete. Everybody knows what's happened. And unless it's a random person who wants to watch your video because they like your stuff, the algorithm isn't going to show anybody new that video. Okay. It's definitely only going to show your video to somebody who's already watched your stuff. So it took an extraordinarily long time for new fans of other teams to find me. That happened with two things. That happened when I expanded to live streaming and when I started covering games that involved other teams, when I started covering the playoffs, as an example. Okay. Other teams, fans started finding me going, hey, how did I not know? I'm just finding your channel now after 6 years. I dozens and dozens, if not 100 comments that said that. So, it kind of helped me feel better about myself because I realized, okay, it's not necessarily the content's bad. It's just the way the YouTube algorithm is set up. It's really hard if you're just going to make content that involves the games. Okay. So that's the other thing. If you're starting a sports channel, and this is particularly why I think like the hockey guy grew to be so big, because he's covering the entire NHL and he's making consistent, constant videos, multiple videos a day, and it's about different subject matter. So you may only want to watch the hockey guy when he's talking about your team or a couple of other teams, but you subscribe because you know eventually he's going to upload content that's pertinent to your team. So the other part to it, where I kind of did myself in a little bit, and this is YouTube in general, but it will also apply to the sports YouTube world. If you're only covering one sport, however long it is, I'm going to use hockey as the example. From mid-September of training camp to now, I cover all the way through to the Stanley Cup Finals. Okay, so that's the mid-June. For all that time, the brain is hockey, 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 hockey. All right. You're just like, who's going to be on the second line? What are we doing? It's just constant. So what happens is that inevitably season ends and two things happen at the same time, and it really makes it rough. Views immediately drop. They'll drop. My views dropped as much as 50 to 70% right after the Stanley Cup Finals for a few weeks anyway. And all of the other things in your real life that you've neglected because you've been focusing on sports for however many months long, all of a sudden you realize, oh, geez, I got to fix the lawnmower and I kind of need to paint the house. And I've been neglecting my kids because I've been busy, or neglecting the wife or whatever it is. And so there's this bad balance of content not doing as well while you're also feeling all this pressure to get all this other work done that you've been kind of ignoring, with your eye on, I've got about 2.5 months to figure this out and get it all done before the season starts all over again. So my recommendation is this is a fine line here, because I did it wrong for a number of years. For a number of years, the first few years, I didn't do every game. First 3 years, I do like 2 or 3 games and I'd miss a game. I'd do 2 or 3 games and I'd miss a game. Then after whatever year it was, it might have been the first 3 or 4 years I did it that way. Then I finally decided I'm going to do all 82 games. Hockey is 82 games. So I finally decided I'm going to do all 82 games. Well, pandemic came and stopped that. And then we had this break of a period where we had to try to find different content to do. And then, of course, season picked back up and everything else like that. So the point is that even last year, when I set out to do all 82 games, somewhere around January, February, I got a little burnt out, got a little crispy, because I'm doing 3 videos per game. We have a pre-game live stream, the recap, and a review the next day. So I got a little burnt crispy. And there were about 2 or 3 games where I said, I got to take a time out from at least one of these videos. So I wasn't doing the live stream, wasn't doing the recap, but I was still doing the review in the morning. So becoming aware of when you're starting to get burned out is extraordinarily important. And some of the techniques that you can use to not get burnt out, okay, are a step away. If you're on Twitter all day, but you're still trying to make videos, step away from Twitter, step away from Facebook, TikTok, step away from the other social media platforms for a couple of days and give yourself a mental break. If you're like, okay, instead of engaging with everybody all day Tuesday and then going into the game Tuesday night, put it all away. Go fishing, go ride your bike. As they say, go touch some grass. Okay. Your fans will still be there. Your supporters will still be there. Nobody is going to unsubscribe from you because you say, hey, I'm going to take 3 or 4 days off of Twitter. All right. Because I'm getting a little crispy. I'm getting a little burnt out here. Nobody is going to unsubscribe from you. Okay. I understand the fear. You think that if you don't constantly engage, people are going to step away from you. If you take a few days off, it's not a problem. You start taking a week, 2 weeks off, then you might have some work to do to come back if you're doing it in the middle of the season. Okay. So in terms of how much money, live stream. Okay. That ad revenue that I showed you, the $2,500, half of that, at least a third of that is some super chats. At least a third of that is some super chats, because I could do a live stream and a recap and a review. And I'm going to get, between those 3 videos, ad revenue wise, let's see, maybe if it's a good one, I'm going to get $12, $10-12 between the 3 videos in ad revenue. But all it takes is 2 people to give me $10 super chats, okay, in the live stream, and I've made more money in that, on that one thing, than I did all 3 videos combined. Now, YouTube takes 30% of the super chats and the super thanks. They take 30% because you're using their platform, and it makes sense, right? So that's the number one thing I can tell you to do is live stream, and have a reason for the live stream. That's the second thing I can tell you is, if you just say, yeah, I'm just going to have a stream because your people are going to show up, okay? But not enough so that the algorithm starts showing it to other people. And that's the third thing, is the length of the live stream. Some of you probably already know this, but it's simple math. The longer the stream, the more opportunity you have for people to find it. Hit that like button. Ask them to hit that like button. Okay. The more people that find it, the algorithm starts picking it up. Half hour, 45 minutes into the stream, you'll start noticing now you're getting 5 and 8 and 10 new people at a time because the algorithm is starting to show it to people. So when you're streaming, minimum of an hour, right? And if you can stream during a whole game, I know other people that do it. When I mean physically, I mean energetically wise, it's tough on me to do an entire game. But a lot of you are going to be younger than me. If you're young enough and you can live stream during an entire game or have a 2 or 3 hour stream after your game, that's where the money is in terms of making it from YouTube. The ad revenue, I've heard this other places, and I absolutely agree with it. The money that you make from the ad revenue has to be, your game has to be that's the lowest percentage of how much you're making. Okay. So you want to start thinking about your live streams, getting people to do super chats, which I have found the best way to get people to do super chats is don't ask for super chats. All right. Let's just be clear there. All right. They see the button. All right. I've never asked once. Okay. My partner Stu likes to ask because he's a salesman. But my advice is don't ask. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And that's another thing where I failed in the beginning. I guarantee I did at least 4 years of video before I even started saying, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, etc., etc. If you go back and watch what I did it all wrong. I did like 90% wrong. All right. Couple of other things, especially if you're running a sports specific channel, just stay away from the politics. Okay. Somebody like myself had to learn that the hard way. I'm from a different generation. We made jokes about the president. We made fun of things. All right. You could crack a Biden joke and not be called MAGA. You see what I'm saying? Stay away from the politics. It's too polarizing now. Don't think, this is an innocuous joke. It's not. To me, to you, to most people, it might be. But you're going to have those people that it's not. And it's just not worth the hassle because you're covering sports. Okay, so that's suggestion number one. Another thing, this is a rule that I've learned that I've tried to break and I still break on occasion. This video actually is breaking the rule. And the rule is stick to your niche. Stick to what you do. Now, I have a couple of characters. I have a Crazy Bill character. I've had a couple of other skit videos that I've done. And what I can tell you is I've put in days worth of effort into those videos. The people that like the channel like those videos, but that's it. It's not being shown anywhere and anybody else. They are consistently the worst performing videos on the channel. And it screws up the algorithm on you because as soon as you have a stinker, okay, you could have 4 videos in a row that get into 1,000 views. As soon as you have that one stinker that only goes to 200 or 300, the next video, you better have a good idea because the algorithm is going to kind of go, they didn't like the last one. We're going to show this next one to fewer people. All right. That's just the way it works. So if you do too many things off brand, you're going to hurt yourself and it's going to take you longer to get and reach that threshold. So anything else that I wanted to cover? The bottom line here, merchandise. Let's talk about merchandise here a little bit. I'm maybe not the best person to give you advice that way, but here's what I can tell you my experience has been. My channel is small to medium sized in the hockey world. Okay. Might be a little bit starting to edge towards the medium size, but it's still considered a smaller channel. However, my analytics in terms of watch time, engagement, click-through rate are off the chart good. They're really, really good. Okay. One thing I've noticed is that I get a lot more engagement in my live streams. I get a lot more super chats, and I get a lot more support in the way of Patreon and YouTube memberships. That's the other thing to talk about. So let me finish this point. So I have a lot more support for super chats, Patreon, and YouTube memberships than a channel my size even comes close to normally getting. Okay. I have 2,600 subscribers. Between Patreon and YouTube members, I have almost 50 people. All right. For a channel my size, that number should be about 10 or 12 from what I've seen and talked to other people. So that level of support is off the charts for a channel my size. However, I can't sell any merch, like zero, like nothing. Like a friend bought a sticker like a year ago and that's it. So, which is okay because I have a feeling the people that would buy the merch are just supporting through YouTube, you know, through the Patreon memberships and the YouTube and the, you know what I'm trying to say. So they've kind of given me all that support, but I can't sell any merch. So the point there is that find what works for you. It's going to be different. It's going to be different for everybody. Okay. I've seen other channels who I'm watching their live streams not getting any super chats, but people are talking about, I bought the shirt, I bought the hat, I bought this. So it's okay to look and see what other people are doing, but don't compare yourself and go, well, yeah, I got 50 Patreons, but nobody will buy a shirt. It's like you're going to create a community, right? Okay. And those people are going to support you the way they want to support you. So I don't push the merch because the number of people I have on Patreon, YouTube memberships is absurd for a channel my size. So let it develop naturally. You can tell everybody, this is what I have. This, you want to support the channel, this is how you can do it. And let them choose. Let your supporters choose. If they want to give you money, they're going to give you money. They're going to pick which way they want to give you money. So be grateful about it. Make sure you thank everybody about it, but don't worry if like one thing is not working out, because if it most likely is a case like mine where can't sell any merch, but the Patreon and YouTube memberships is way higher than it should be. So I'm happy with that. Now, in terms of Patreon and YouTube memberships, I want to talk about that a little bit. The YouTube memberships you don't get immediately when you were monetized. Okay, you're going to get monetized. They're going to let you put ads on your videos. All right. And then they're going to start bringing you one thing after another. Now, I had the Patreon. I think I added the Patreon about the same time that I got monetized. It didn't click in my head that I could have already had the Patreon. So I started the Patreon first. And then once YouTube memberships, once I had that enabled on my account, I added the YouTube memberships. Now, during the season, what I do is I write an article for the Patreon people after every game. And then on occasion, I will make a YouTube or a YouTube membership or a Patreon membership exclusive video. I don't do it a lot because a lot of people seem to read the articles, but the views on the exclusive videos don't do as good, don't do as well, whatever the word is. So I don't do it a ton. But I do it. And again, it will work whatever your supporters want. They'll let you know when you look at your analytics. Okay. If you see 30 people read the article, only 4 people watched the video, give them more articles. Let them decide. The analytics will tell you. Okay. Just, you don't have to push it. It's all right there in the numbers for you. The numbers don't lie to you. So that's a suggestion. Making money from the Patreon and the YouTube memberships is a good thing. I've had a couple of people who will gift memberships in the middle of a live stream. Somebody will come on and buy 5 memberships for a month for other people who happen to be on the live stream. That'll happen for you. That's always nice. The biggest piece of advice I can give you is this. Don't let anybody tell you that this job ain't hard and that it's not a job. Okay. When I first started making these videos and I told people this is what I wanted to do, I got more than one person who laughed at me. I got a few people. Oh, you're going to try to make it on YouTube? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm not going to call them out by name because it's some people who are kind of close to me. But I had a few people, more than a few, kind of laugh at me about it. Not, and especially if you're just starting out as a channel, there's a lot of competition and it's tough to put hours of work into a video work between thinking about it, recording it, and editing it, and you put it out, and you wake up and you got 8 views, and 2 of those are you. Okay. All right. And then you start getting happy when the views get to 20 and 30 views. It's tough. It's tough to put yourself out there because people are going to be critical of it. And you're sharing a Facebook post and people can see that like 8 people have watched this guy's videos. It teeters on embarrassing in the beginning because y'all are trying to make it on YouTube. You are trying to do this, but it's more public. When you start a job and you're making minimum wage, it's not like everybody in the world is watching you make minimum wage. But on YouTube, everybody in the world can see that this guy's got 20 videos out. He still hasn't cracked 50 views. That can be tough on you. Couple of ways to deal with that. Number one is don't quit. Don't quit. I'm telling you right now, if it's what you want to do, don't quit. You go back and you rewatch your content and you rewatch it again and you watch it again and you figure out, what am I doing too much of? Where am I going on too long? If that's a 10-minute video, that could have been 6. Am I connecting with my audience? Am I making eye contact? Am I being myself or am I acting? Am I looking like I'm reading off of a script or am I just talking to my friend in the room? Watch your content over and over and over and over again until your ears hurt. Okay? And then the next day you make another video and you watch that one and you watch it and you just keep watching yourself and you find the things that work and you find the things that don't work. And the second thing is the comment section. Listen to those people. Okay. Don't have to take them if they're being hateful or nasty. Okay. But if you watch this channel, my big thing, if the Panthers win, I'm yelling 2 points. That wasn't me. I can't tell you who it was. I don't remember. But I was saying 2 points for at least 2 weeks before somebody in the comments said, hey, man, you keep saying 2 points. I think this might be a thing. Something like that. I don't remember exactly who. I don't know exactly what. But I was not aware of it all. And then I went back. I'm like, 2 points. Okay. And that's how it came to be. So pay attention because if they watched your video, especially in the beginning, if you got 30 people watching it and somebody cared enough to make a comment, listen to what they're saying because most likely that means they want you to succeed. They see something in you that they like and they want you to succeed. So don't be afraid to look at the comments. Okay. Like I said, if somebody's being hateful, nasty, brush it off. That's going to happen, by the way. And it's always a surprise. The first one is always a surprise. You think you made a great point, you made great content, and somebody comes in and gives you the clown world emoji or something like that. And you're like, what? Huh? It's just, bam, big old slap in the face. It is. It'll happen. Stay strong when that shit happens. Okay. You don't quit. You just continue to work and continue to improve. Now, when you need a break, take a break. Okay. When you need a break, take a break because that's going to shorten the break that you need and it's going to make the breaks that you need less frequent. Okay. Now, if you're doing football, that's a short season. You should be able to get through football pretty good. Okay. Baseball, hockey, basketball, especially baseball. Good God. That's a long season. There's 1,000,002 different things to talk about. If you need a day off, you need 2 days off, you need to take a game off, you need to have your brother do a recap for you or whatever you're doing, get help. Get somebody that's going to partner with you, maybe make it a little bit of a partnership, even if you're only on once or twice a month, just to give your voice a little bit of a break, give the readers, the watchers, the viewers a new point of view. Okay. It's not all on you. It doesn't have to be all on you. All right. But you get to a certain point, whether it's middle of winter, dead summer, like in baseball season, I'm sure it's the same for those guys. If you're like, I just kind of really need to take a weekend off. Look, if you had a regular job, you're going to take vacation, you're going to have a long weekend, et cetera, et cetera. This is no different. Okay. If you have an established, nobody in your established fan base is going to be like, yeah, look, dude, if you got to take the weekend off, I'm unsubscribing. Nobody is going to do that. And I understand that fear, but nobody's going to do that to you. Okay. Yeah, you're going to miss a weekend and you're not going to get a whole lot of new people that weekend. You will survive. You will survive. You come back, you have a welcome back for my long weekend live stream, and it'll be like nothing happened. It'll be like you never went. Your brain is fresh. All right. You're yourself again. You got to take breaks. So it's going to be a while before any of us get rich doing this. You know what I mean? Now, I look at what the hockey guy does, and I look at what Steve Dangle does. Those are two of the biggest hockey channels. I know there's a few other ones, but those are the names that most people will know, right? For me personally, if anybody's still watching, that number I showed you, $2,500 a year. If I can make that every month with what I make on eBay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gold. Not knowing how much you're going to make per 1,000 views is a challenge. You have to constantly go back through your content and look and see, how much did this one make me? How much did this one make me? Where, and the other thing is, and this will be the last point that I make here, because this is, interestingly enough, going to be the first video that I put ads in the middle of the video. I have not been doing that. I still will not do it for recaps because they're too short. Okay. But the reviews I do are 30 minutes to an hour. This video is going to be close to 45 minutes, probably, maybe an hour by the time I'm done. And I've not put ads inside the videos, just at the beginning and the bumper ads at the end. So that revenue that you see could be more. Full disclosure, it could be more if I was willing to put ads inside the videos. Now, I won't do it for the recaps because the recaps, it's a show, it's a flow. There's a flow to it that I'm not going to break. I will not do it. But for a video like this or a review, I'm going to start doing it. Okay. Because the more money I make, the less eBay I have to do and the more content I can make. And that's the equation that I'm looking at there. And to be honest, I did a community poll. I did a poll where the community was overwhelmingly in support of, hey man, do it. Go ahead and do it. So that's the other thing is, once you get monetized, you get the ability to have community posts. Okay. And use them. I can't tell you how many times I've been like, man, I don't got the gas today in the off season to make a video. There's really nothing going on. So I'll make a post. I'll write an article. I'll do a poll. I'll do something to engage people. And you don't get a ton of views. You'll get 10 to 20 likes and a few comments, but it lets people know hey, I'm still here. We're good. I'm still here. So, all right. I might do more of these. If you guys find this useful and want more information, actually, I should sell myself here. I'm really bad at that. I'm actually a life coach, and I've actually had a few clients that have actually asked me for help with getting them started on YouTube and stuff like that. So if that interests you, the email is flyingfluffyhockey@gmail.com. But past that, if you guys want me to make more videos about this subject, or maybe another check-in in 6 months or whatever to let you know if how much the revenue has taken off, if I'm a millionaire yet, I don't mind sharing that. I've had more than a few people ask, and then, people in my family, immediate friends, like, man, you making any money? You good? You making any money? It's like, I'm very appreciative of all the money I've made. That's how I put it. All right. It's still $2,500 in a year to make hockey videos. I wouldn't mind adding a zero behind that, but I don't need to get greedy. It'll build. You saw the statistics I showed you earlier. It's building. So the voice is gone. So we're going to stop for today. Appreciate all the support. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't be like me. Say that at the beginning of the video, not at the end. I always wait to the end. I'm the worst salesman of myself, which is why my buddy Stu that's why he does what he does, because he knows I don't think about selling myself. You know what I mean? It is what it is. All right. Appreciate all the support. I will see you guys again real soon.